Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Flagrant Talk Sports Podcast. It's me, Isaiah, here with my favorite co-host, Mr. Moses Firmino.
What's going on, everybody?
And today, continuing on our position rankings in the NBA with the season around the corner, preseason basketball is here. We've already done point guards, shooting guards, and small forwards. So if you have not seen that, you could go check those other videos either now or after the fact. But we've got those set, and we will have centers for you next week. But this week, we have the hardest video of the bunch, the power forwards, and my goodness, it is stacked. This was so hard. You're dealing with 10 either all-stars or fringe all-stars. So the list was super tough. For those of you who have already seen our videos, you don't need to hear this, but this is based off of last season and the position they played. A guy like Jaren Jackson, we're going to opt to put in the center category. So we'll talk about him there. Whether he makes the list or not, he'll be an honorable. And you needed to play to qualify at least 41 games. Mo and I do not know each other's list. But if you play less games, you're more likely to get pinged, which is why there's a guy at 10 for me who I might have a spot or two higher, but because of the lack of games, I knocked him back a little bit. But that's everything to tee off the video. Mo, anything you want to add before we get started?
I think I'm ready to dive in.
Let's do it. We'll kick it off with some honorable mentions. The first one, who I don't have on my list, but I figured is worth it, got Julius Randle, Minnesota Timberwolf now, but going off of his New York Knicks season, 24 points, 9.2 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Randle's a guy I'm kind of excited for people to be reminded. Like, he is a good basketball player, and I feel like his name is kind of run through the mud, man.
100%. He's all NBA guy multiple times in his career. Probably would have been last season as well if he didn't get injured.
Totally.
Started the season off very rough, but it only got better from there. Improved every single month that he was healthy. So, I totally agree. He didn't crack my list because of the injuries and just because of how stacked this list is, but still an amazing player that it's going to be fun to see in Minnesota with Ant. So
I'm excited and I'm hoping the best for him. I would love to see him kind of like get his name back in the mix of people in a more positive light, because I think it also hurts that when Randle got injured, the Knicks play better. And I think that also kind of hurt his perspective on like, well, if we could do this good without him, why do we need him?
For sure.
Instead of being like, oh, this is a dude who can give me 25 every night.
Yeah.
So not on the list, but deserving of an honorable. Another guy, and this was very close. Very, very close for me. The thing that kind of held him back was games played. I have Evan Mobley. Mo, do you have him in your top 10?
He is also an honorable mention for me.
15.7 points, 9.4 rebounds, 3.2 assists, almost 1.5 blocks per game, and almost a steal per game as well. Really was just held back by 50 games played, hurt him a little bit. On top of this position, we've said it, is just stacked.
Ridiculous.
Mobley definitely has a case, and if you have him in here because of what he brings defensively and everything like that, can't argue it. This list is just really tough, and you're going to have really good players left off.
100%.
The last one, for me at least, I wanted to include, I have J-Dub. Do you have him in your top 10?
This one hurt me the most, but he is unfortunately an honorable mention for me.
Yeah. he's gonna be in this mix though, and on this list as he continues to grow. He is a star in the making. 19.1 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1.1 steals per game, 54% from the field. A do-it-all guy, a guy who is a core piece, maybe the second key piece on this Thunder team that you could argue is the best in basketball. He's only going to get better. So while he's an honorable now, best believe he's going to be on this list. Yeah.
100%, 43% from 3, can guard 1 through 4, maybe even a light 5. Just unbelievable player. 3rd year, it's sky's the limit. So
yeah, totally. And like you said, with his 3-point percentage, it's good enough for 24th in the NBA last year. So a great player, 71 games played too, just on the court consistently for the Thunder, and they're going to need them if they want to get to the mountaintop, which they're more than capable of getting to.
Without a doubt.
Those are the honorables, the core ones. We can definitely throw like an Aaron Gordon in there as well as a good one. Draymond when he's healthy and on the court. Jalen Johnson for me with the Hawks is the one I'm so high on him.
Riser. He's a riser.
Absolutely. So not on this list, but I think deserving. Kuzma is still going to be in there, but this position is so stacked that I feel like this is the cream of the crop of the honorables.
For sure.
Which means, are we good to go on the top 10?
Let's do it, man. Let's kick it off.
It's about to get spicy. And as a great teammate, I'm going to throw the assist to you and go ahead and get us started here at 10.
Well, how sweet of you, man. At number 10,
just looking out.
I have an unbelievable player, first-time All-Star, Toronto Raptors power forward, Scotty Barnes.
Me too.
19.9, we'll call it 20 points a game, 8.2 rebounds, 6.1 assists. Combine that with 1.3 steals and 1.5 blocks a game. Talk about the total package. That's Scotty Barnes for you. We'll also throw that in with about 48% from the field and 34 from 3. So can definitely stretch the floor for you a little bit. Can improve in his 3-point shooting for sure this season. But All-Star, as I said, first-time All-Star and totally deserved and earned. I combined the two. The Energizer Bunny of this Raptors team and kind of kept them afloat in some times of darkness with trades and whatever going on. He was that core piece that they wanted to hold on to, and smart move by the Raptors. So.
Yeah, he is the Raptors franchise player. The trading of Siakam, Freddie V, all of the kind of old guard where they won a championship with is gone. And with that, Scotty Barnes, who, if you've followed this channel for a little while, you know how I feel about Scotty. One of my favorite two-way players, a dude who I think has legitimate all-NBA upside because of what he brings on the defensive side. I know his big comp out of Florida State was Kawhi. I'm not going to put that on him because Kawhi is an all-time great, but when you're being compared to that and you're looking at his development, I think he's in for his best season this year. And as Jakob Poeltl said on Media Day, they're not winning a damn thing. He straight up said, hey, we're not contending, so why are we going to pretend like we are? We're going to give the minutes to the young guys and let them develop. Crazy to say going into a year that, we're going to be bad, but I respect the honesty. Scotty is not going to be bad. Held back here at 10 slightly just because of the 60 games played. I talked about it a little bit in the intro. 60 is great. If he can stay in that 65 to 70, definitely stretch the floor a bit more. If he can knock that 3 ball down a little more consistently, it totally opens up his offensive game. And he's been working, but it is still a work in progress.
For sure.
I love Scotty though. So I
Yep.
love that
Yep.
we've got him at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Since I threw you to the wolves, it's only fair that I do the same to myself now.
Sweet.
At number 9, I have his teammate who he played with, who got traded this season. I have Spicy P. Pascal Siakam still on this tier maker in a Raptors uni. Spent time in Toronto the first half of the year and then got traded with the Pacers to be paired up with Tyrese Halliburton on that young Pacers core. And he really thrived. It
Mm-hmm.
took a couple games for them to work it out, but man, when they did, they looked so good. 21.7 points, 7.1 boards, 4.3 assists, just does it all for the Pacers. I think for me too, playing 80 games, we didn't get to see a full season of him in Indiana, adjusted, everything like that. And getting a full season under his belt and now going in and the Pacers riding the high of a conference finals appearance and Halliburton emerging as a young superstar. This Pacers team can be really good, and Siakam is going to be one of those key pieces over the course of these next couple of years where they're going to want to be in that playoff mix, and in the East, and I feel good about him. I think Siakam deserves to be in this mix here.
I totally agree. I will save my thoughts on Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
At my 9 spot, I have the recent tradee and New York Knick, Karl Anthony Towns at 9.
Nice.
Last year with Minnesota, he averaged 21.8 points per game with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 0.7 steals and blocks a game as well. Great from 3, obviously, 42% from 3, 50% from the field. It's going to be really exciting to see this new look Knicks squad. But last year, great in the from Minnesota, getting them kind of deep in the playoffs, pushing them past the Denver Nuggets. Cat was definitely criticized quite a bit for some of his play. But I think he's going to carry that chip on his shoulder into this season with his new team and kind of shut the haters up with a very great year with New York. As long as he can stay efficient, keep knocking down those 3-pointers, stretching the floor a little bit more than Randall did, because Randall was kind of similar, but I think Cat is a better 3-point shooter. So we're gonna see. But I got Cat at 9.
Love it. I got Cat in a little bit, so I'll hold up. I did want to add real quick for Siakam. A note that I had made was his first 2 playoff games against the Bucks, where Halliburton's banged up, Giannis is out. The Pacers are kind of looking at where to go. Game 1, 36 points, 13 rebounds. And then game 2, we followed it up with 37 points and 11 rebounds. Just able to elevate, obviously knows what it takes to win a title, to be on a playoff team. And I think that's really going to help the Pacers as well.
Yeah.
But at 8, for me, I've got a guy where it felt so good to see him healthy. It felt like if this guy is on the court, he is so good. And I was so glad to see that Zion was there. Zion Williamson has had, a mixed bag, I guess you could say, out of Duke. Injuries, the criticisms of his weight, all of this kind of stuff
Off the
going
court.
off the court. Things that he enjoys. And listen, we all enjoy things, but they're a little more public with someone like Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
But got Zion here at 8. we'll call it a cool 23 points per game,
Yep.
5.8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.1 steals. And he's a guy too where it was around All-Star break. No. In season tournament. And Charles Barkley was on his ass about physically where he's at and
Mm-hmm.
everything he's eating. And, there was the report of like he'll go to a restaurant and everyone in New Orleans loves to see Zion coming because they know he's going to order the menu. And it's like, dude, haha, funny. The dude is still very good. And we got to see 70 games of him this year,
Mm-hmm.
which is massive because when he's on the court, he raises the Pelicans' ceiling so high. And I think he's playing with his best roster this season.
Yeah.
And they should feel really good about it. If Zion can stick to that, whatever he's doing physically, stay on the court, keep doing it. Obviously, the playoff, not being there and the play in and things like that, the playoffs, that's the big one. But
Yeah.
from what I saw last year, it was the Zion that I loved. And not just that, it was seeing it consistently on a night to night basis, which really helps.
100%. And I 100% agree because I also have Zion at 8.
Love it.
And as you said, yeah, the conditioning, the weight stuff was there all season long, but I also am not seeing that many guys at his size throwing down
Dude.
360 windmills and flying through the air and
Yeah.
chase down, block it. And he's still an athlete. He's still one of the more athletic guys, athletic freaks that the NBA has ever seen at his
Yeah.
size and weight with the things that he's able to do. And as you said, stats were there. First kind of full healthy season of his career, most games played of his career, which was awesome to see.
Yeah.
And as you said, best roster that he's had. So they got to be feeling pretty good if they can get,
Mhm.
a solid 20 points a game out of Zion on top of
Yeah.
what else they have. Watch out for the Pelicans to make some
Dude.
noise out west.
Agreed. And I think too he'll forever be kind of plagued by what he was at Duke. That will always be the like, oh, he's the next LeBron. He's the next this. He was covered everywhere. It was the Johnny Manziel thing. It was the LeBron James thing. Just this like, he's everywhere. He's on ESPN every night. Everyone's talking about, oh my goodness, he's going to be a top 10 player all time. Da 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 da. And then he comes in the league and is just, an all-star and is just in the all NBA mix. And instead of being that perennial all NBA first teamer, he's not. And for some reason, that's not good enough. So I think you're muted.
Thank you. He's just a
Yeah.
great player in the league, but yeah, I guess
It's not good enough
Yep.
to some people. And, that's whatever. But me personally, I love what I'm seeing from him. And I'm hoping for another healthy Zion season.
100%, man.
At 7, I've got the guy you talked about. Got
Oh
Karl
man.
Anthony Towns, which means by your reaction, I have a feeling you have a Pascal Siakam at 7.
I do.
Beautiful. For Cat, everything you said, totally agree. One of the best big men shooters in NBA history. I mean,
Mhm.
I can comfortably say that for Cat. He has been riddled by kind of the playoff flopper, if you will, and just not being able to live up to the big moments. This postseason for Minnesota, he looked very good.
Yeah.
And if that's what he gets in New York, he's going to have the opportunity there for the Knicks to be the best team in basketball. Like
100%.
he's still playing that super meaningful ball like he was in Minnesota.
Mhm.
And I see no reason why there should be a decrease. He is a tremendous player, totally opens the floor for New York.
Yep.
I'm really curious to see how him being paired back up with Tibbs goes. Obviously, the first time around in Minnesota wasn't great, but Cat has developed greatly. So
For sure.
feel good about it, and is coming off a solid year. I think he's in for yet another one in New York.
I love it. Love the take. And as you inferred, we did just flop, and I do have
Love it.
Spicy P at 7. As you said, coming over to Indiana, a little bit of change of roles, change of pace. Didn't have to be that stud star guy for them. Kind of slight cutback in points, 1 point game, but better defense, more boards. Just taking on a little bit more of that chippier,
Yep.
get the dirty work done, plus defense for the Pacers. And as you said, took a little bit to get going, but once they did, you can tell why they wanted a player like Pascal on their
Yeah.
team. Fits in perfectly with Hallie and his playmaking ability. Their pick and roll game was fun to watch. Just excited to continue to see him in a full season with the Pacers. So I got him at 7.
Love it. The next guy for me, the way I was filling out this list, I felt like 10 to 7 was, I wrote it in my notes. 10 to 7 to me is a tier. 6 and 5 to me is a tier. 4 to 2 is a tier, and 1 is a tier. Is the way that I kind of broke it up in my notes. I went back and forth on 6 and 5. But ultimately, I settled on Paulo Banchero with the Orlando Magic at 6.
I did as well.
Love it. 22.6 points per game, 5.4 assists per game, 6.9 rebounds per game. And the big thing for me, this kid was balling in the postseason in that series against Cleveland, and showed a lot of good things. If you're a Magic fan, if you're a basketball fan, you should feel great about it. 27 points per game, 4 assists, and upped his rebounds to 8.6 per game on top of a steal. I feel like Paulo just continues to go not necessarily under the radar because everyone knows how good he is, but for him to be a second-year player last year and be an all-star and on a playoff team that he helped lead and all of these things and play very good playoff basketball, he's like genuinely, and listen, I hate the LeBron comparisons, but you can see how he emulates his game. There's certain drives to the cup, there's certain things like dribble pull-up moves that Paulo does where you're like, dude, that's LeBron-esque. Is he going to be LeBron? No. I'm not putting that on him, but he's a damn good basketball player, and I'm so excited to see what him and Orlando can do this year because he's special. He was so close to 5.
Without a doubt, followed up his Rookie of the Year season with an amazing second season. All-star, huge in the playoffs, as you noted. Improved from 3, which was big. If he could take another step there, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But just overall, 80 games played. Just every single night, Paulo was the guy. He was getting it done on both ends of the floor. His athleticism ups him on both sides of the ball. He's able to cover multiple positions. It is just a treat to watch. And as you said, he's knocking on that top 5. And we'll see after this season. He could very well be placed into that spot pretty handedly. So
yeah, if I pulled out a crystal ball and just thought about it, I'd have him top 5.
Yeah.
When we do this next year, I'm that high on him. But the guy I have at 5 is Kawhi Leonard.
Same here.
Love it. Dude, it was I kept flipping back and forth and back and forth. I feel like it's kind of underrated how healthy of a season Kawhi had. Obviously,
Yeah.
not in the playoffs, but 68 regular season games for him kind of falls under the radar because he's a guy who all anyone can talk about is the injury stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Valid, your best ability is availability, and if you're not on the court, I can't judge what you're doing on it.
Yep.
But coming off of a really, really good year, 23.7 points, 6.1 boards, 3.6 assists, top 10 in steals with 1.6 per game and
Mm-hmm.
0.9 blocks per game. Uh, what is there to say about Kawhi shooting 41.7% from deep as well? He's not the Toronto Raptors Kawhi, and he probably never will be again. But that does not mean that he is not still one of the premier wings in the league. And it's going to be really weird to see him this year with the Clippers when he is back and healthy, because it's going to be kind of the Raptors thing again. He's going to get that hero ball opportunity. You are the guy. We don't really have a second all-star for you to play with. Go cook. Go do
Yep.
your thing. You are the franchise guy, and that's it. So
For sure. For sure.
one of the best two-way players on the league, obviously hampered by injury and not being there in the postseason. But I will say, to his defense, I love that he played in the postseason this year and sucked in that game, because he kept telling people, I'm hurt. I'm not playing because I'm hurt. I would love nothing more than to be on the court. And it was nagging nonstop. And he's like, okay, I'll play. And it was awful. And he couldn't run and he couldn't do all these things. And then they pulled him for the playoffs. And he was like, yeah, I'm not, like, why would I lie?
I tried to tell y'all.
And I hate the injury thing with Kawhi too, because it's like, dude, he is a competitor. He's a 2-time champion. He led a team to a chip.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the whole like thing of like, oh yeah, he doesn't want to play. He's sitting. All that discourse is so stupid. It's so
Stupid, man.
dumb.
100%.
But
as you said, the 68 games definitely flew under the radar. That's his most since the 2016-2017 season, where he played 74. So can't ask for too much out of him.
no,
We saw what he was able to do when he was healthy and on the court. He was still a top 5 power forward in the league. And we'll see. No PG. None of that. The big three's gone, which is crazy. Another failed big three experiment, but
yeah,
we'll see.
dude.
We'll see what Kawhi can cook up, man.
I'm kind of excited to see him and Harden just doing their thing.
Yeah.
Just vibes.
Yeah.
Like, we're not winning anything. That window is gone. So now we're just hooping. We're playing for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it gets. This is where it gets very choppy.
I would agree.
Do you want to do it? Do you want me to do it? Because
I'll start us.
Okay.
I'll get us started.
All right.
At number 4, I have Kevin Durant.
I do too.
Of the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
75 games played, 27.1 points, 6.6 boards, 5 assists. We'll call it a steal, and 1.2 blocks a game. While shooting 41% from 3 and 52% from the field. As we've noted with his other teammates, it was rocky season for the Suns, to say the least. Not what they were expecting when they looked at their moves and everything that went on. So not gonna put that on KD because he was
He
Kevin
was
Durant.
great.
He was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I I still think he still got it, man. He still got some
Dude,
years in him.
he does.
35, 36. We'll
And,
see how much longer.
and he's a player whose game has just it was made for him as he got older to still be an elite guy, to still be an all-star,
Yeah.
because he's one of the most gifted offensive players of all time.
Uh-huh.
Like his size, length, ability to shoot the three ball well, like you said, 41.3% this year. The midi is still there. He's able to get to the cup. He does everything, and he's able to shoot over most guys. Say what you will about the Suns team, Durant is not the problem. Book
Yep.
is not the problem.
Yep.
Those two get a pass. Everything else, we'll see. They should be better this year, but I don't know how much better we're talking. And we saw it with Durant too in the Olympics, man. That game where he came back, he was injured. He didn't practice with the team. Is he gonna play? Is he gonna sit out? No, don't worry. I'll have a damn near perfect game. First game off the bench.
Yeah, I'll
like
come back. Yeah, oh, 3 ball. Yeah,
yeah,
splash. Nothing but
yeah.
net.
I'm
Yeah.
taking contested pull-up middies with two guys
Heat
on me.
checks.
I don't care.
I can
He's
still see the rim. I can see it over you.
yep. I'm locked in.
This is an
So
open shot. Yeah.
yeah, to me, this is open. It's like
Mhm.
in 2K. It's like this is green, man. This is like
Yeah.
a 22% contested. Um, yeah, I just it's always so hard to talk Durant. So I'm gonna stop here. Give him his flowers.
Yep.
One of the most gifted players in the league still.
Yep.
And will probably be in this top 5 again this time next year. So
For sure.
at 3, since you did 4, God, I'm not excited to say this. Reminder, this is based off of last
season. Last year. Say it.
'cause
Say it.
last year, because if it was all time, this guy would be 1. But it's not all time. And with that being said, I have our king, our glorious king. You are my sunshine. LeBron Go ahead.
I was driving home the other day.
Oh no.
There was a school bus next to me. And I think I just got Chick-fil-A. I was just got out of class, feeling good, windows down, and I hear some kids singing, "You are my sunshine." And it's the school bus next to me.
They know ball.
That's all I'm saying is the impact is felt through generations. Through these kids are picking their noses still. And this man, all right, sorry, we can get back to the video. We can get back to
Mo,
the video.
you're spitting, man. It's so crazy that holy crap. Excuse me, a little late night recording, but he's 39 years old. 39. And he's here.
Playing with his son.
Dude, and 25.7 points, 7.3 rebounds, 8.3 assists. He's almost top 30 in steals. He's 31st with 1.3 a game. Shooting 41% from deep. He's almost top 50 in the league from long range.
Best season of his career.
It's stupid. I'm waiting for him to regress to a normal player, like a normal fringe all-star Braun. Because I thought that's where we would be at this point. He's not. He's seriously still, at worst, you're putting him 4 here.
Agreed.
At worst. And that's as far as I'd allow someone to go. He's been so good. I don't see why he won't put up similar numbers this year.
Mm-hmm.
Special. I know the LeBron glaze jokes, all that is funny, but it really is such a special thing for sports fans to be able to see him still play basketball, and not just play, but like play
At an
like
elite
hoop.
level.
Yeah.
71 games, averaging
Dude,
35.3 minutes a game. Like,
that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen.
it's literally like robotic what we are watching.
Like dead serious at this point in his career, if he was putting up like playing 55, 60 games, putting up 18 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, you'd be like, nice. The
Mm-hmm.
dude's almost 40 years old.
He's still
Yeah, like
adding.
that's good. That's really solid. This is AD's team now. It's like, it's crazy. So it's really cool to be in a time where Braun is still playing at this level.
Yep. Maturity
And
really hit, man, because
yeah,
now I just appreciate it. I used to get so bad. I used to get so
I,
pissed off. But you can
I
literally just have to respect it. No matter who you support, what team,
yeah,
player you follow, gotta
I,
respect it.
I think too, getting older, kind of to that point, like me and every other basketball fan, especially when he went to Miami, he was the villain. People hated
Yep.
him. It's the
Yep.
same thing with Durant when he went to Golden State, and people forever look at Durant differently for that move. But this discussion is not about that. It's as I've gotten older, I've just learned to appreciate these guys. Like, I love basketball, man. I love sports. I love watching it alone. I love watching it with you or my friends or my family or whatever it is. And to be, you know, 23 years old, and for these guys to be my era that I grew up with, and I'm entering my mid 20s. I was in elementary school watching him dominate, watching a Durant, in middle school seeing Curry, and to still be at this point and appreciating them, like,
So
it's really
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
It's very special. So
100%.
that rant aside, that's more just why this channel is so cool, is being able to talk about how cool it is to see them still
100%,
operate at this
man.
level.
Yep.
And I'm sure a lot of people are mad at who is at 2. So while we said all of these sweet, sweet things,
This guy from Milwaukee. Oh wait, no, never mind.
yo, you're great. You are great. Now that
Sorry.
would be, we would get
Yeah.
mass disliked, and I would probably join in.
I would probably join that as well.
But
we're truthful content creators, so
we are. Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
A lot of the talk, a lot of it, I feel like people totally discounted his season, every other playoff series, was his finals performance. And yes, he shot the ball very poorly. I'm not
Really
here
bad.
to, yeah, it was terrible. It was really tough. And we watched all of those games together.
Oh, don't worry. We were watching.
Yeah. So I get it. I understand, man. I'm not here to defend that part of his game. But can we please, for a second, appreciate that he went from 26.9 points. He still put up 25 in the playoffs, right?
Yep.
We're acting like he went ghost.
Yeah.
4.9 assists in the regular season, 8.1 rebounds as well. But in the playoffs, 6.3 assists, but jumps that rebound to 9.7. He's almost 10 rebounds a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what a lot of people were saying and kind of the narrative about he turned into a Jokic style player in the finals when his offensive game was not there. His
Yeah.
jumper left him.
Mm-hmm.
And if he didn't have the talents of a White, a Jalen Brown, a Holiday, a KP coming up big Peyton Pritchard minutes, then yeah, we're probably looking at a scenario where he misses out on the finals and loses another one. But we're not in that timeline. I'm not here to
Nope.
play what ifs when I'm making
Nope.
this list.
Yep.
So it is what it is. He had a great season, was right there still in the mix for finals MVP, even with the crappy shooting numbers.
Yep.
And based off of last year, I'm giving Tatum the recognition. I'm putting him at 2. You could call me a Celtics fanboy. You could whatever you want. It is no sweat off my back. So
Not
he
going
had
to
a
change
great
my
year.
opinion. 100%.
Had a
Great
great
year.
yeah.
Both sides of the ball taking
Yeah.
steps up, even though the stats might not say it.
Yeah.
The team stats will say it. Just a unbelievable season. Super cool to see Tatum willing to make this change, be a little bit more of a facilitator, be a little
Yeah.
bit more open to getting down deep and fighting for rebounds. And it was really fun to watch the Tatum development over last season, and based off of his play and how the Celtics ended up, I feel like it is not wrong to have him at 2, and you happen to agree with me, so I
Yeah.
can't be crazy. Even though
No.
we're both Celtics fans, this is
Yeah.
it's coming from what we saw.
And at worst, he's 4.
Yep.
Like that's kind of why I said 2 to 4 is a tier. You can rotate these guys around. I'm not going to argue, but I don't know, man. So much of the hate on Tatum is so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just don't get it. And as a Celtics fan, I'm so happy. I am so happy because I hope he comes out this season and goes ballistic. That's my Celtics bias. Is I'm
Mhm.
honestly thankful he's getting
MVP
his flame.
Tatum.
Yeah, I'm on Joe Mazzulla's side. I'm happy he got disrespected in the Olympics. I'm happy he didn't win Finals MVP. I'm happy the internet. I've never seen someone win a title and get more disrespect. So I'm
Crazy.
excited. I think we're in for a great year.
Yep.
But at 1, we joked, but at the end of the day, man,
No better two-way player in the league right now.
Yes. Yep.
30.4 points, 11.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.1 blocks on 61% from the field. Obviously not as good as a three-point shooter as some of the guys on this list, but it does not matter.
No.
He doesn't need to shoot threes to drop 40 bombs. He can, he'll hit an open one every now and then.
Yep.
But this is just one of the stupid, like, looking back at Giannis rookie year, slim, no muscle,
Yep.
just a lengthy guy who, like we said, no shot. Like, he wasn't a KD type guy or a Wembanyama type who could stretch the floor. The blossoming of I know everyone has the photos of the year to year, whatever, but Giannis's, like, the transition into what he has become is ridiculous. It's a testament to his work ethic. It's a testament to his mindset from what he came from. this is a special basketball player, and without a doubt, in my eyes, is the best power forward in the NBA.
Yeah. This one wasn't debatable for me. I
Yep.
didn't even mull over Tatum, Braun, Katie. It was like, yeah, Giannis is 1.
Yep.
Figuring out 2 to 4 is tough.
For sure. The rest of the list, yeah, we got
Yeah.
messy, but
Yep. The honorable mentions. Oh, who do I have at 8 versus 9? This was not a debate. He's the best two-way player in the league. He's a champion for a reason. The playoff injuries post winning a title are a problem. I'm not
Yep.
gonna say they're not.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, he still won. Like when
Sure.
he's healthy, no one can stop him offensively. He
Mhm.
commands teams to close in, send 3 defenders, swarm him when he's trying to get to the cup. And he's gotten better as a playmaker too. He's gotten better at being able to get there and kick it out
Yep.
to Chris Middleton in the corner or whoever it is. And I don't know what the Bucks are gonna do this year. I don't know how him and Dame are gonna perform this year. How many wins are gonna result from that? I do know that Giannis is gonna be incredible. So
Yep. Will
that's
be in
it.
MVP talks, will be an all
I,
NBA first teamer. Yeah.
he's in my top 3 for MVP. I I don't
Yeah.
see why not. I think he's right up there with the Luca or Shea in
Mhm.
terms of getting it done.
Without a
And
doubt.
every year for the past couple seasons, it's felt like he is either the favorite or right there. And
Yep.
this year is no different. So
It's earned.
absolutely. So that's our top 10
Yep.
honorable mentions.
Pretty
Let us
consistent. Pretty
pretty
consistent.
consistent.
Yeah.
Because we had top 4 the same or
Yep.
top 6 the
Yeah.
same.
Top 6.
Top 6, we flip flopped to 9 and 7 and had
8
10
and
and 8.
10. Yep.
That's
That's our most consistent list that we've had, which
that is.
was I mean, it was our toughest one, so,
Yeah.
I don't
All the same names on here.
Yep.
I mean, dude, look at this position. If you disagree with our rankings, fine. That's totally okay.
Totally understandable.
Look at the names we're dealing with though. Our number 10 is Scotty Barnes. 10. And the guys
So
who didn't make it is Mobley, Randall, J-Dub, Aaron Gordon. Like, damn.
yeah, man.
It's
Stacked.
it's stacked. So let us know what you think.
Yep.
If you agree with our list, if you disagree, if you want to, go off on a Celtics rant, feel free to do it. It helps the algorithm when you hate comment too. So,
Let us know.
feel free to let us know.
Yep.
But before we close it out, Mo, song of the pod. What have you got for the people?
Let's get this weekend started off right
Mm-hmm.
with some Summers. I got Marble Floors. Great beat.
Nice.
And it's a great beat.
what a
Sorry.
I love it. I love it. Sometimes that's all you need, man. Sometimes that's all you need.
That's what got me hooked. So hopefully it gets you hooked.
I love it. I have for me Bonjour by Nas. There's a silly bar on there that I cannot say on here that I was repeating to Mo before filming. But on a real note, the album is great. It was part of Kanye's Wyoming run when he used to make good music. And so yeah, that's
man.
the vid.
Fire.
We will catch you guys in the next NBA video with centers, and then we're gonna do award predictions, playoff predictions, standings, all that fun basketball stuff. So you're in the right place for all of that content if that's what you want to see more of.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't wait to film it.
For sure. It's coming. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. Right around the corner. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the support in recent videos. Love you all.
I'm gonna do the old heart since I can't do the 3 with the
Love
that
it.
wasn't a gang sign, I promise you
That
to.
no, that was not. Yeah, let's end this. We'll catch y'all.
All right, see you, everyone.
Peace out.